So good morning students. Yesterday in the last class we were discussing about the phylum Cnidaria. Okay, what we were discussing, that is about the phylum Cnidaria. In that phylum Cnidaria or Coelenterata, we had discussed they are usually marine and radially symmetrical. They are sessile or free swimming. They have a tissue level of organization. They are diploblastic animals. Then they capture the prey, encourage and defense. They have some cells that is known as the cnidoblast. So that cnidoblast will have the nematocytes or the stinging capsule, okay, by which they are going to capture the prey. Okay, digestion is extracellular and intracellular. Along with that, I had told you they have a gastrovascular cavity and an opening, that is the mouth. A single opening will be there. That it is known as the hypostome. What it is known as hypostome. Okay. So these all things we had discussed. So some more characters we will discuss now. Here, hypostome, cnidarians. Okay, cnidarians. Here, some of the cnidarians, one example is there, corals. Some of the cnidarians. Among that, some of the cnidarians, one of the example is there. Example, corals. Corals, okay. So these corals are composed. Their body wall is composed of a calcium carbonate. Here, these corals, whatever the corals are there, their body wall is composed of calcium carbonate. A substance is there composed of calcium carbonate. Okay, especially that is in the corals. Their body wall, some of the cnidarians, their body wall is composed of what? That is the calcium carbonate. The next thing here are the skeleton. Their skeleton is composed of what? Of a calcium carbonate. Okay. Then cnidarian exhibit two body forms. Here you see cnidarian exhibits two body forms. Two body forms. And what are the two body forms? Which one is medusa and one is polyp. Medusa and polyp. These are the names of the two basic body forms. Okay, how the medusa and how the polyp will be means, here you see, it is just like an umbrella shape. This is the umbrella shaped structure. This is one body form, that is the medusa or medusae. One more is there, that it is a cylindrical. This is the polyp. Okay, so these are the two basic body forms which you will see among the people which belongs to the phylum Coelenterata. Okay, so here polyp and medusa. One of the example of medusa is Aurelia, and one of the example of polyp body form is the Hydra. Aurelia, which is in the form of medusae, and polyp, which is in the form of, hydra, which is in the form of polyp. Okay, here they have the two basic body forms, that is the polyp and medusa. So here the hydra, which is sessile, they both are sessile and they are free swimming. Okay, the next here in these cnidarians or coelentrates, they exhibit a one feature, that it is the alternation of generation. What it is? They exhibit the alternation of generation. What do they exhibit? They exhibit the alternation of generation between the two body forms. Between the two body forms. And what are the two body forms? One is the medusa and another is the polyp. And this process of alternation of generation between the two body forms are called as the metagenesis. What it is called as? It is called as the metagenesis, which is very important for 1 month. Okay. See here, alternation of generation between the two body forms. And what are the two body forms? That it is the medusa and polyp. Here, in some of the cnidarians, you will see first polyp is going to form the medusa, and in some of the cnidarians, you will notice that medusa is going to form the polyp. So these changes among the individuals is known as the alternation of generation. Okay, see here, such as medusa, which is umbrella shape and free swimming. Okay, medusa, which is umbrella shaped and free swimming, they will form sexually. They will undergo into which form? Which method of reproduction? That it is the sexual reproduction. Okay, so here, when they are undergoing into a sexual reproduction, they will form a polyp. Understood? Which is polyp, which is cylindrical and sessile. When this medusa, they are undergoing into a process of sexual reproduction, first they will form a polyp. Okay, some changes are going to take place in their body forms. This body form, umbrella shape, will change to the cylindrical shape. Okay, then when this polyp, here I will write, this polyp, which is cylindrical in shape, they will undergo into the sexual reproduction. So here, this cylindrical first, this umbrella shape will change into the what? Into the cylindrical shape when they are undergoing into the sexual reproduction. When these will undergo into the asexual reproduction, this cylindrical shape structure will change into the umbrella shape. That it is the medusa. Polyp will undergo into the asexual to form the medusa, which is umbrella shape. Okay, so here in their generation, there will be changes are going to take place. That process we can call it as the metagenesis or else alternation of generation. Okay, so this is about what? About the cnidarians or coelentrata. Some examples are there, such as And metagenesis especially takes place in one form, that it is the obelia. What it is? Example, where the metagenesis will take place, that it is the obelia. Some other examples here. Example, Hydra, Aurelia, Physalia. Examples are very important. Okay, Aurelia, Physalia, Adamsia, then Penatula, which is also known as the sea pen. Some more examples are there. Next, Adamsia, which is also known as the sea anemone. Okay, then Physalia, Portuguese man of war. Portuguese man of war. These are the common names of certain coelentrates. Okay, the next, Gorgonia, which is also known as the sea fan. Sea anemone, sea pen, sea fan. Okay, the next, Medrina. Medrina, which is also known as the brain coral. Brain coral. Okay, so here there are some examples, and one more example, that it is the obelia. Obelia, of cnidarians or coelentrates. The next, so this is about the coelentrate, phylum coelentrate. Next we will go for the third phylum. The name of that phylum is Ctenophora. Next, phylum third, phylum number 3. Ctenophora. Okay, here this phylum Ctenophora, they are also known as, also called as sea wallets, or also called as sea wallets or comb jellies. Sea walnuts are, they are also known as the comb jellies. What are they? Next we will go for their habitat, where they will live. They are exclusively marine. Exclusively marine. In salt water area found. Marine, and they are radially symmetrical animals. Which symmetry they will possess? They are radial symmetrical animals, and their body, and they are diploblastic animals. Diploblastic animals. Okay. First of all, they are radially symmetrical animals and diploblastic animals. Okay. The next here the body has some rows. Okay. What does they have? They have some rows such as, I will draw here. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, on their body there is a presence of certain rows. Okay, that is 8 external rows. How many? 8. Sorry, it is 8. Okay, so these 8 external rows are of ciliated home plates. These are known as the home plates. What they are known as? They are known as the home plates, and they are ciliated. Okay, what are that? How many? 8 external rows are there, which are present on the surface of the body like that, and it is ciliated. They are also known as the ciliated home plates. So these home plates, what is the function of these home plates? Means that is meant for the locomotion. This is the function of that particular home plate. So they are meant for what? For locomotion. Okay. Here the digestion is both. Digestion is both extracellular and intracellular. Extracellular and intracellular. Okay. Then next, they have one specialized property. What is that property? Means that it is the bioluminescence. Here I should tell you. See, these are the ciliated home plates, and these are the external rows. Okay. The next, one more property is specialized here, that it is the bioluminescence. Bioluminescence. This will last for 1 month. What do you mean by bioluminescence? Luminescence. Okay. Bioluminescence means the property of living organisms to emit the light. Property of living organisms to emit the light. Means they live in the deep oceans or the deep seas where there will be no light. Okay, in that condition, what they will do means their body itself are going to modify to give the or emit the light, and that property is known as the bioluminescence. Okay, the next which is well marked or which is seen in the ctenophores. Here the next sexes are not separate, they are hermaphrodite. They are hermaphrodite. That means both male sex and the female sex are both present in the one individual. Sexes are not separate. Okay. The next reproduction takes place only by the sexual means, or only sexual reproduction can be seen. Only sexual reproduction occurs. Okay. The next, what about the fertilization and development? Here I will tell. Fertilization is external. Outside the body, the fertilization is going to take place, not inside the body. That is the external fertilization. And what about the development means? Here, the development is indirect. Indirect development means during the development, it will include the larval stage. That means the indirect development, external fertilization, only sexual reproduction is occurring. Hermaphrodite sexes are not separate. Then they will exhibit a bioluminescence. On their body, there is a presence of 8 rows with the comb plates, and that comb plates are ciliated, which helps in the locomotion. They are marine. They are also known as the sea walnuts or comb jellies. Okay. So examples for this are Tenoplana. Examples I will mention here. Tenoplana. And one more example is a Pleurobrachia. Pleurobrachia. So all these about what? About the phylum Ctenophora. Next we will go for the next phylum, that is the phylum Platyhelminthes. Next phylum, that is the phylum number 4, that is the phylum Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes. Okay, so they are also called as the flatworms, or they are also called as the flatworms. Why we can call them as the flatworms means because their body is dorso-ventrally flattened, means just paper-like. From the dorsal as well as from the ventral, from both the sides, it is totally flattened. Okay, they have a dorso-ventral flattened body. They have a dorsoventral flattened body. So that is the reason we are calling it as the flatworms. Okay. The next thing, there are mostly endoparasites in animals and humans. There are mostly endoparasites in animals and human beings. In animals and human beings. Endoparasite means here these animals will live inside the body of some other animals or some other human beings. Okay, so here parasites, they are surviving there. Okay, inside the body, not outside the body or not on the surface of the body. Okay, so that is the thing, they are known as the endoparasites in animals and human beings. Okay, the next, they are bilaterally symmetrical, bilateral symmetrical. This is one character. They exhibit the bilateral symmetry. Then they are triploblastic. Triploblastic. Then their body does not have any coelom. That it is the acoelomate. Acoelomate. Triploblastic, acoelomate. The next, which level of organization they will exhibit means they will exhibit a organ level of organization. Organ level of organization these animals will exhibit. Okay, so they will observe the, see, they are endoparasite. They are going to observe the nutrients from some other body. Okay, so here they are going to observe the nutrients through their body surface. Observes nutrients or the food through their body surface. Okay, the next, here, whatever the parasitic forms are there, they will have some structures. And what are the structures are known means they are known as the hoops and suckers. I will show you here. In the head region, like this, the body will be. Okay, totally flattened body. In the head region, there will be presence of some hoops, like this pointed structures will be present, and suckers. These are the suckers. This region is the head region. On the head region, these are the hoops and these are the suckers. So these hoops and suckers, they are going to observe the nutrients or whatever the forms or whatever the animals which belongs to the phylum Platyhelminthes. If they have the hoops and suckers, they will become the parasites. Because for attachment in the body, inside the body, they require such a structure, that is these the hoops and suckers. So some of them absorb nutrients from the host directly through these hoops and suckers. Okay. So there is a presence of specialized cells in these flat forms. What is that specialized cells means? Some specialized cells are present. And what is the specialized cells means? That it is the flame cells. What are that cells? That cells are known as the flame cells. So these flame cells, many times they will ask the question on the basis of flame cells for 2 marks. What is the function of flame cells? Okay, so these flame cells will regulate the osmoregulation. That it is the water balance, which will regulate the water balance in the body. Okay, osmoregulation as well as the excretion. Flame cells helps in osmoregulation and excretion. These are the 2 important functions which are going to be performed by the flame cells. What it is? Osmoregulation and the excretion. The next here the sexes are not separate, they are also hermaphrodite. Here I will write sexes are not separate, that means they are hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite where sexes are not separate. Okay, the next here fertilization is internal. Inside the body the fertilization is going to take place. Fertilization, it is internal. And what about the development? That is also indirect through many larval stages. Development is indirect. Indirect. Here they will show many larval stages. Okay, through many larval stages. Okay, this is about the sexes. Fertilization, which is internal, development is indirect. Okay, and one more very important point, that one example is there, that is the planaria. Planaria is one of the example which has a high regeneration property. Regeneration means, here I will show, this is the body of planaria. This is also a flat form. Regeneration means if the body cuts into 3 parts, this body part, this is one body part, this is the another, and this is the another one. Okay, so this will regenerate into the new forms, new individuals. This will form a new body. This also forms into a new individual, and this also forms into a new individual. Okay, in this way they are going to reproduce. So here planaria will has high regeneration, capacity. Regeneration capacity. Example for this diagram what I had shown, this is the example Tania, Tania solium. Okay, one more example is there. Malaria also comes under the example, as well as one more is there, that is the fasciola. This is also one of the example. Planaria, fasciola, Tania solium, these all are belonging to what? Belongs to the phylum Platyhelminthes. Okay. The next comes the next phylum, that is the Aschelminthes. So let's see about the Aschelminthes. Phylum fifth. That is the Aschelminthes. Phylum fifth, Aschelminthes. Okay, Aschelminthes. These are also called as the roundworms. We are familiar with this name, that is the roundworms. Whatever the roundworms are there, they will belong to the phylum Aschelminthes. They may be free living, or they may be parasitic. You know the meaning of free living, wherever they does not require some other's body for living. Parasitic means they are living in some other's body. Okay, some of them are free living, some of them are parasitic, and aquatic or terrestrial means they, some of them will live in the water or on the land. Terrestrial. Okay, the next they are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, bilateral, symmetrical, triploblastic, and pseudocylindrical. Triploblastic, and they have a false coelom. Okay, pseudo coelom. Okay, the next they have their alimentary canal is complete with mouth and anus. They have a complete alimentary canal. Complete alimentary canal, and all, as well as they have a muscular pharynx in their alimentary canal with well developed pharynx. Okay, pharynx means it is one part just below the mouth. Okay, which opens into the esophagus. That is the food pipe. That we can call it as the pharynx. Here it is complete alimentary canal means with mouth and anus. Okay, here complete alimentary canal means both the opening will present, mouth and anus will be present. Okay, the next so they have the anus. In place of anus, they have the excretory pore. Anus or excretory pore, from where the waste products are going to be released out. Okay, here the sexes are separate. Male and female will be not present in one individual. They will be separated in the two different individuals. And here, you see the diagram, one example I will show you, that it is the ascaris. roundworm. Example, Ascaris. This is the male. Okay. Then here, this is the female. This is the male and this is the female, and always the females will be larger in size than the males. You can see males are smaller than the females. Are male and female can be distinguished. Okay, by their size only we can find out which one is the male and which one is the female. Okay, the next females are longer than males. So sexes are separate. Females are longer than males. Okay. The next fertilization is internal. Fertilization, that it is internal. Development, it may be direct or indirect. Development, which is direct or indirect. In some of them there will be larval stages, and in some of them only directly they will form into an adulthood. Examples are Ascaris, Buchraria. Examples I will mention here: Ascaris, Buchraria. Then one more example is there, that is Encyclostoma. Encyclostoma. Okay, so this is about what? The phylum Aschelminthus. In the next class we will go for the phylum Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca. Okay, thank you. We will continue in the next class.